Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the big one, the word of the day, Daytona 500. Stay tuned, it's time for the Motorsports Radio Breakdown. Alright, Daytona Day, 200 advertised laps, 3 stages. Stages 1 and 2 were 60 laps each. Stage number 3 was 80, and new season, new format. Pole sitter on Sunday, the 2016 Rookie of the Year, Chase Elliott in the 24 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet. 3 Chevys making up the top 3 starting positions. Starting second was Dale Earnhardt Jr. making his return to racing, piloting the 88 car. Jay McMurray, driver of the number 1, started in third. Denny Hamlin, 2016 Daytona 500 winner, started in the 4th position. Kevin Harvick started in 5th, the 24, 88, 11, and the 4. In the top 5 to start the event that hardcore NASCAR fans have been waiting for all winter long, the Great American Race, NASCAR Super Bowl, the Daytona 500. Michael Waltrip driving in his final 500 in the 15 car. And Larry the Cable Guy was in attendance. He was asking Tony Stewart what his first commercial was going to be. Is it going to be a catheter commercial or a reverse mortgage, if you saw that interview? And Jeff Gordon was in the pace car for the pace laps, and Owen Wilson from Cars 3, the Grand Marshal, Cars 3, coming to theaters in June. So the cars roll out, pace laps unfold, and then the green flag flies to start this 500-mile, 200-lapper. Temperature, air temperature 69 degrees, track temp was 106, and they're all fast, furious, and loud to start an all-new Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series double file. 2 lanes of very fast traffic. Dale Jr., man, getting freight trained early on both sides as a 3 wide gobbles up the 88 Chevy. Denny Hamlin works up to second, and then the new driver of the 14, Clint Boyer, up into third at lap 4. Lap 5, he'll climb up to second. McMurray down in third, and Chase Elliott still remains the race leader. Hamlin will drop down to 4th, and a battle for the lead now between Chase Elliott and Jay McMurray, now in lap 6 going into lap 7. But lap 7, McMurray does become the race leader for a little while. Chase Elliott would drop down to 3rd, and Kevin Happy Harvick riding behind him in 2nd. Bright and early, nitty-gritty, still inside the opening laps on Sunday. Close, tight, and fast. Lap 10, top 3, McMurray, Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski. So now we got the 1, the 4, and the 2. Keselowski looking for his first Daytona 500. Unfortunately, got a DNF. Did not finish. The chase for the checkered flag, chasing away the wintertime blues. Early pit for Joey Logano, and this got a little weird. Lap 14, he was running 4th at the time. Loose tire issue here. A quick pit, and would drop down to 40th after coming back out. But full laps. And the weird part was that Joey Logano was in the front of the pack, if you saw this. Others come down for pit road for around a green flag pit stops at lap 18. Crazy thing was, for some reason, he was in front of the field, and if you flip in the channel and just happen to come across this race, and you are a Joey Logano fan, you might have gotten a little excited thinking that Joey Logano was the leader, even though it was early on, but no, he in fact was in 40th place and would climb up 3 spots to 37th, but somehow he was in front of those cars. The driver that was in the lead was Kevin Harvick at the time, lap 20, still in this round of green flag pit stops. Top 3, lap 23, Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, Chase Elliott, and now at lap 24, the 24 car retakes the lead with that 22 car right next to him, which climbed up to 37th at the time. Lap 25, Chase Elliott would drop down to 6th as Kevin Harvick once again is back in front. Keselowski running 2nd, and now we got Kyle Larson running 3rd. Kevin Harvick in that number 4, Stewart Haas Ford, and on his tail, Team Penske Ford, Brad Keselowski's number 2, Harvick running at 197.39 miles per hour. Keselowski was running at 197.381 at lap 26. And then we get to lap 27. After 27 green flag laps, the first caution of the afternoon for Corey LaJoie. He was in the 83 car, and I don't know what happened here. Just shoots across the outside wall. He was coming into pit road. I guess and hit the brakes, and then boom, just shot right out and sideswiped the outside wall there right by the entrance of pit road. This would bring out caution number 1. We go back to green at lap 36. Still no lead change at this time. Top 3 going into their restart, but halfway through stage 1, the top 3 gets shuffled pretty quickly after this restart. Kyle Busch now running up in second in the 18 M&M Camry. Denny Hamlin running in third. So now we got the 4, 18, 11 top 3. Keselowski would drop down to 7th. And things always light up after that first restart, after that first caution. But now we got a JGR Toyota in front now. Kyle Busch now becoming the new race leader at lap 42. But then we get lap 43, and now we got Truex Jr. who gets in front. The field just got some crazy shuffling here. Ryan Blaney then will take the lead for a little bit at lap 45. A battle for the lead now between Ryan Blaney and Kyle Busch, however. Truex Jr. would drop down a little bit. So the 21 and the 18 going back and forth, a Ford and a Toyota. But the 18 Toyota would resume the lead, now approaching the last 10 laps of stage 1. Harvick running in second, Ryan Blaney down in third. And constant position swapping, typical restrictor plate racing. Some people like it, some people hate it. And trouble now with the 38, middle of a 3 wide in some contact. The 38 driven by David Reagan, lap 52. The 18, 21, and the 4 making up the top 3, lap 53. Busch, Blaney, and Harvick. The 17 car having some issues, possible tire issues. That was Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He had some contact with David Reagan in that previous incident. The 38 made a little contact with that 17. No caution, though, it would stay green. And know that previously it was... Now, here's the thing, because, they laid out all the new format stuff. Now, it was previously reported that it was going to be the last 5 laps of stages 1 and 2 in which pit road is closed. We reported it here last week, but now it changed it. Now it's actually the last 2 laps of stages 1 and 2, and now we approach lap 60 with that all new green-white checkered in the air, and that wraps up stage number 1. And the winner here for stage 1, Kyle Rowdy Busch. Points given out to the top 10 finishes for the first 2 segments. Kyle Busch receives 10 regular season points and 1 playoff point. So I guess people are some people on one side of the fence about the new format, some people are on the other. I'm kind of curious what the fans think of it. I have no problem at the moment, but I am still curious as what the other fans besides myself think about this new format. Note that laps still get counted in between the segments. Also, this counts as a caution as well. So even though that green-white checkered is out, this does count as a caution. So at this point, this was caution number 2. 2 pit road penalties. Austin Dillon, the number 3, overshooting his pit box. Parker Keselowski too fast on pit road. Green flag flies, and at lap 68, we start stage 2. Kyle Larson now the new race leader. Thanks to a race off pit road, Larson gained 5 positions. Kyle down to 3rd into this restart. Harvick running in 2nd. 42, 18, and the 4 making the top 3. Dale Jr. running 4th. Blaney down in 5th. But 2 laps later, that all changes. Kevin Harvick once again becomes the race leader. Kyle Larson up in 2nd now at lap 70. And then here we have, so it's Ryan Blaney running 3rd. Kyle Busch in 4th. And now who's running in 5th? Well, it's Joey Logano. He made it all the way up to the 5th place spot. Teammate Parker Keselowski down in 9th. But lap 15, we got Jimmy 7-time Johnson running 3rd with that 48 car. But then we have another round of green flag pit stops that would come around lap 82. Then we get to lap 90, and that would be the halfway mark for stage number 2. Still cycling through this cycle of green flag pit stops. Jimmy Johnson takes the lead at lap 93. Dale Jr., the new lead, at lap 97. And then we have NASCAR Xfinity Series driver Elliott Sadler running 2nd in that number 7 car. He would take the lead a little bit for like a second later on in the race. Jimmy Johnson running 3rd. So we got 2 JJR Toyotas, Junior and Eric Jones, and some others. And this is question number 3. And I had to write what the H, because, man, I don't know anyone out there that saw this coming. The 18, crazy wreck. The 18 just got loose. Tire issue here. Gets loose, goes sideways. And that 77 behind him, boom, just in turn, and T-bones that 18. Of course, wasn't the 77's fault. 77 driven by another Xfinity Series driver who now is a Cup driver in this Eric Jones, but that 18 just gets T-bone, man. Dale Jr. got a little piece, and some others got collected. So it's Kyle Busch, Eric Jones, Matt Kenseth got some too with that number 20. Dale Jr. clips that 18 trying to get around that wreck, and the 20 Matt Kenseth was behind that 77 as he got into the back of the 77 as the 77 got into the side of that 18. Incident went down in turn 3. Crazy damage, however, for that 18. Thank goodness everyone's okay. The 18 car just got tore up. Looked like Monster Jam out there. Looked like Gravedigger. We know Gravedigger flips and gets all torn up. Also, Ty Dillon's number 13 was involved in this one as well. And I'm telling you, who saw this coming? NASCAR displayed the red flag for this one. And during all this chaos out there, Elliott Sadler would get in front. He actually managed to scoot up to take the lead, but he would wind up coming in to pick us. He got a little damage too on the side of the number 7. Kyle Busch blaming the tires. He's saying Goodyear tires can't hold air. And someone on Twitter tweeted that the executives at Goodyear, their heads must have been exploding after that. But we go back to yellow after a 16-minute red flag. And Kyle Busch and Dale Jr.'s cars to the garage. Drivers go to the care center. And, of course, that new rule again, once the cars go to the garage, the car cannot return to the field. Now, even though Elliott Sadler took that lead as this wreck was happening, it was actually Kevin Harvick who was the one leading the field into this restart. And we finally get back to green at lap 112. But just one lap later, at lap 120, there was actually 2 wrecks here. Oh, actually, no, that's the Xfinity Series. There was 2 wrecks here. So we go back to green, and then at lap 120, the end of Stage 2. Stage 2 winner, Kevin Harvick, Joe Logano. It was actually Xfinity Series. They had 2 back-to-back big ones. We'll do that over later on today. We got 3 shows coming up today. So Kevin Harvick is the winner. He becomes the winner of stage number 2. Joe Logano in second. Logano, though, with a dish and swish attempt to get past Harvick, but won't go. And now we get into stage number 3. Back to green. And yet another new leader this time, Kyle Larson and the 42. He'll bring the lead into the restart at lap 126. And after a shuffle up front, the pole sitter Chase Elliott gets back to the lead. Chase Elliott, man, almost won this one. And so then we get question number 5, lap 128. Just 2 laps into, and this is the second big one of the year. And here's what happened. Jimmie Johnson, 2016, the Cup Series champion, looked like contact with that 6. And then the pile up here, man. And Jimmie Johnson actually managed to come in to get up to 3rd going right after this restart. And then this happened. The number 1 car behind him, Jamie McMurray, behind that 48. A slight contact with that 48 as they run along the outside. The 48 gets loose and clips the right corner of that 6, and then just goes spinning. 16 cars involved in this one. Amongst them, Kevin Harvick, Chris Buescher, the 34 car, Danica Patrick, Jimmie Johnson saying 2 guys trying to crash him out there. And then we go back to green at lap 133 with Chase Elliott back in front. Then lap 135, question number 6. This 21, here's what happened. The 21 car was slowing down to get into pit road. And what happened when he slowed down, the 7 car was behind him, and the 7 car went into the back of 21. But the 7 was the one that went spinning and then made some contact with that number 6. So that 6 got contacted twice. 6, by the way, Trevor Bayne. And in turn, the 6 went into the 17, and there it was. 21, Ryan Blaney, Elliott Sadler in the 7, Trevor Bayne the 6, Stenhouse Jr. the 17, and the 19 car got a piece too. That's driven by Daniel Suarez. Restart lap 140 with Casey Kane now in front with the number 5, and then at lap 141, lap 141, just 6 laps later, we got another big one, and this time the 1 gets the 24, and everyone else just starts turning, and McMurray gets into that wall. I got a little nervous there if you saw this one, because the 22 is right in the front there. But the 2, Kreslowski, however, he had to go to the garage. He got a little banged up there. A DNF for that number 2. The double 2 was still out there. So we get back to green, lap 147. And now we got Austin Dillon in front. But the double 2 gets in front. Joe Logano, the race leader, and the lap 149. Caution number 7. And if you're a wreck watcher, and wreck watchers are frowned upon in NASCAR, but if you are a wreck watcher, you got your thrill this weekend. All 3